Have you ever been like just scrolling, late at night, maybe on your phone, and you're feeling that ache could be your joints, maybe that annoying back pain that just won't quit?
Oh, yeah. Definitely been there.
And then suddenly, bam, this ad pops up. It looks amazing, right? Promising some kind of miracle cure, saying you can finally be pain-free.
They know exactly when to target you.
Well, today, that's what we're diving into. We're looking closely at one of those products you see everywhere, Bee Venom Cream. The claims, the marketing, the actual science behind it.
It's such a common thing, isn't it? That pull towards a quick fix, especially when you're dealing with chronic pain day in, day out. The appeal is undeniable.
Absolutely.
So our mission today really is to unpack all of that. Let's look at the claims, see what evidence actually exists or maybe doesn't exist, and help you, the listener, cut through all that marketing noise.
Yeah, to figure out what's really going on with the stuff.
Exactly, so you can make a solid choice for yourself.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The claims for Beemidex, they are really bold.
They don't hold back.
No. The product description basically says this little jar is your ticket to a pain-free life. It suggests it cures. Well, basically everything from arthritis to just general chronic pain.
Well, cures everything.
Right. For someone living with constant pain, that's the dream, isn't it? It's like they know exactly what button to push.
Yeah, it really is. And what's fascinating from a psychological angle is how those kinds of massive, sweeping claims tap directly into that very human desire for relief, for an end to suffering.
Yeah.
If you're in pain constantly, you're often feeling pretty vulnerable, and hearing cures everything, well, it can be incredibly compelling, almost hard to resist.
Yeah.
It kind of triggers that hope, maybe even overrides your usual skepticism a little bit. And marketers, well, they understand that emotional landscape very well.
But, okay, speaking of skepticism, here's where, my internal alarm bells started ringing, just based on our research. The price.
Oh, yes, the cost.
We're talking $50. $50 for a 3.5-ounce jar? That's quite a bit.
It is.
And we even found one source mentioning someone paid $80 for 4 tiny jars that supposedly came from China.
$80 for 4 tiny ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
That feels like a really premium price for this miracle cure. Makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
It really should. And it brings up this interesting point, right? Does a high price automatically mean it's better? Or is it sometimes just a tactic?
A red flag, maybe?
Could be. Sometimes, especially with products making huge promises like this, a high price is designed to make it seem more legitimate, more exclusive, like you're buying something really advanced.
Right, like you get what you pay for.
Exactly, that price-quality idea we all kind of have. It creates this aura of value that might not actually be backed up by, results. You think you're investing wisely, but maybe you're just paying for clever marketing.
So with those big claims and that hefty price tag, you'd maybe expect their online stuff to be super professional, transparent.
You would hope so.
But what our sources found when looking at the Beemidix website was...
Well, it was described as having serious infomercial vibes. Uh-oh. Infomercial vibes. Never a great sign.
You know the type, right?
I am.
Lots of dramatic testimonials, big emotional polls, stuff like, it's a miracle cure.
Right. Testimonials are key.
But here's the really sketchy part, according to the source. All the 5-star reviews on their own website, they sounded weirdly similar, like written in the exact same style, every single one.
Oof. Yeah, that's a classic red flag. Huge one.
Doesn't sound very genuine.
Not at all. And it connects to a broader marketing strategy. It's about creating this illusion of social proof, making it look like everyone loves it.
Right.
Think about it. You're scrolling, maybe your back hurts, you see the ad promising relief, you click, and boom, pages of 5-star reviews all saying amazing things in the same bubbly tone.
Yeah, it makes you think, wow, maybe this really works.
Exactly. It's designed to bypass your critical thinking. It creates this manufactured agreement. It suggests, hey, everyone else thinks this is great, so it must be true. It's often not real organic feedback. It's narrative control.
Okay, so we've got the wild claims, the high price, these kind of questionable reviews on their own site. What about actual, independent user experiences? What happens when people try it?
That's the real test, isn't it? Beyond the hype.
Well, our deep dive found a review on WebMD. Someone bought it, actually. An even pricier version, they said, came from China, and they used it religiously, every single day, for weeks.
Okay, so they gave it a fair shot.
Seems like it. And the result? Their words.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Total crap waste of money.
Ouch. Direct.
Pretty direct. And a pretty stark contrast to the whole miracle cure thing they're selling.
It's a huge disconnect, isn't it? And that really highlights the gap between the marketing promises and, well, the reality for many users.
Yeah.
And it's not just one person's bad experience. When you look further, you find places like Scam Detector giving Demodex a medium-low trust score. They call it definitely questionable.
Medium low.
Well,
Definitely questionable. Okay.
those independent checks are so important. They give you a perspective you just won't get from the company's own website or ads. It really shows how the actual value, or lack of it, comes out in the wash from lots of different people's experiences, not just the hand-picked marketing lines.
All right, but let's talk about the science for a second. Because you hear bee venom, and maybe it sounds a bit weird, but our sources did point out there's actually something there, a component called melittin.
Linton, yes, it's a peptide.
And apparently it does have anti-inflammatory properties that have been documented, so it's not like they pulled the idea out of thin air, right? There's a bit of science.
You're absolutely right. There is that kernel of truth. And honestly, that's what makes these kinds of products so clever and sometimes misleading. Melittin can reduce inflammation. That's
Oh.
established.
Okay.
However, and this is a big however, the nuance here is crucial. This is where the marketing just leaps over the details. Most of the studies showing melittin works are, as the source put it, super limited.
Limited how?
Well, they're often done on animals.
Mhm.
Or they involve injecting purified melittin right into tissue or using it in very specific high concentrations in a lab dish, not just rubbing a cream on your skin.
Ah, okay, so not the same as a cream.
Not at all. Our skin is a barrier. It's designed to keep things out.
Yeah.
So what works when you inject it directly or put it on cells in a lab doesn't automatically mean that rubbing a bit of cream on your knee will deliver enough of that active ingredient deep enough to actually cure something like chronic arthritis.
Right, the delivery method matters a lot.
Hugely. The bioavailability, how much actually gets absorbed and is active where it needs to be for a topical cream like this.
Yeah.
For those big claims, it's largely unproven.
That makes sense. So yeah, a huge leap from might reduce some inflammation in a lab to cures everything via a
A
cream.
massive leap.
But then, okay, beyond just maybe not working, our research flags something genuinely concerning. This moves it from just being a waste of money to potentially dangerous, the allergic reaction.
Yes, this is critical.
If someone is allergic to bees, maybe severely, what are we actually talking about here if they use this cream?
This is where it gets really serious. A severe bee allergy isn't just a rash. It can trigger anaphylaxis.
Anaphylaxis. Okay, what does that involve?
It's a rapid, potentially life-threatening whole-body allergic reaction. We're talking difficulty breathing because your airways swell, a sudden dangerous drop in blood pressure, dizziness, swelling sometimes of the face, lips, throat, even passing out.
Wow, that sounds terrifying.
It is a medical emergency. It needs immediate treatment, usually with an EpiPen, that epinephrine auto-injector.
Right.
So for a product containing a known potent allergen like bee venom to be sold over the counter, marketed as this simple pain cure, well, without extremely clear, prominent warnings about allergies and strong advice to see a doctor first, it's just, frankly, it's shockingly irresponsible.
Yeah, you'd think the warning would need to be huge.
Absolutely. It just highlights how risky it can be to self-diagnose and self-treat serious health issues based on an online ad. Your
Yeah.
health is just too important to gamble with like that.
So, wrapping this all up, what's the bottom line for you, our listener, if you're the one dealing with that pain and just desperate for something that works?
Yeah. What's the takeaway?
Our deep dive's honest take, based on everything we found, is really straightforward. If you have serious chronic pain, please talk to an actual doctor first, not Dr. Facebook ad.
Hear, hear. That professional medical advice is irreplaceable.
It really is.
And look, while this bee medic stuff is probably not going to hurt most people, big caveat there about the allergies we just discussed, it's also probably not going to magically fix your arthritis or whatever chronic issue you're facing.
Right.
Our sources basically suggest you're just paying premium prices for a fancy moisturizer with a slight bee theme. Maybe it feels nice, smells okay, but a cure.
A
Unlike.
very expensive moisturizer.
Exactly. It really comes down to making informed choices about your health. Real relief usually comes from evidence-based medicine, tailored to you by a professional, not from promises that, let's be honest, usually sound way too good to be true.
And, for anyone looking for some actual relief that's maybe more immediate, definitely proven, and way, way less expensive.
What's the practical tip?
The recommendation was pretty simple. Save your $50 on the questionable bee cream And maybe just try that heating pad first.
Can't argue with a good heating pad.
Right. Sometimes the simplest, most accessible things really are effective. Tried and true methods that, won't empty your wallet or carry those kinds of risks. So this whole deep dive into Bimidix Bee Venom Cream, it really underscores how important it is to be skeptical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you see these products promising the world, often with a hefty price tag attached.
Absolutely. Healthy skepticism is key.
Remember, those real independent experiences and actual scientific evidence, they always beat the slick marketing hype. It's about arming yourself with good information.
And that really brings us to a final thought for you, our listener. In this world where we're just flooded with health claims, online ads, miracle cures, how do you personally draw the line? How do you navigate between something that might be genuinely innovative and something that's just really persuasive marketing? What's your own strategy for sorting out the truth from the hype when it comes to your health? Something to think about.